I've thought more about your big idea and I've got some questions.
Shoot.
What makes you so sure that this fundamental change in the nature of money is really going to happen?
It's inevitable. There are 6 fundamental trends at work here, each independently is a major shift. Together they create the preconditions for a transformation.
What are those 6 trends?
Financial crisis, digital technology, cloud computing, mobile payments, social networking and social media.
They're all powerful trends, but I don't see the connection.
Very few people do. That's why this opportunity is so great.
What opportunity?
The opportunity to change the way we create money.
The way we create money.
Yes, the way we create money. Do you know how money is created?
The government prints it, am I right?
Sort of. But not really. The process is much more complex than that. It all begins when the US Treasury prints a big stack of IOUs on worthless paper and calls them United States Treasury bonds. Then the Federal Reserve Bank buys another stack of worthless paper that has been printed at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. Calls this paper dollar bills.
So you've basically got 2 stacks of worthless paper. Then what happens?
The US Treasury exchanges their stack of IOUs with the Fed's dollar bills and presto. The 2 stacks of worthless paper have been transformed into something of value. It's really quite ingenious. Wouldn't you say?
Quite.
But the financial alchemy doesn't stop there. The US Treasury now owns the dollars and they use them to pay federal workers, pay their bills, pay contractors, and so on. So the dollars, both paper money and electronic money, are now in circulation. Eventually they find their way into your hands.
Yes, I rather like that feeling.
So do most people. Although it's completely illusory. But that's another matter. So you and others deposit your dollars at your bank. This is where the real magic happens.
Magic?
Yes. The magic of creating something from nothing. Banks have what is known as a fractional reserve ratio.
Yes, I've heard of that. 10 to 1 usually.
Correct. This means that for every dollar of your money the bank holds on deposit, they can extend credit for 10 times that amount. So say you deposit $1 million, the bank can turn around and extend a loan to someone else of $10 million.
Quite ingenious. But where did the bank get the additional $9 million that it loaned out?
That's the question, isn't it? That's the magic of financial alchemy.
I don't understand.
Nor do most people. For most people it's sufficient to know that the money they have put on deposit with the bank will be there when they want it. They don't realize that the bank assumes not everyone will come for their money at once, and therefore is free to loan their money out many times over.
But I still don't understand. Where did the bank get all the additional cash it loaned out?
The bank created it. The money has been created by making accounting entries on its books. It's all just digits. This is how the most powerful motivational tool in our society is manufactured.
But what happens if people come at once to the bank to get their money?
That's a problem, isn't it? It's what's called a bank run, and it happens periodically with varying degrees of seriousness. The magnitude of these crises have been increasing as the size of the banks and the riskiness of their loan portfolios increases.
So then, back to your big idea. You said that there will be a transformation in the way money is created. What do you mean by this?
First, we have to realize the old money system is fundamentally flawed, and that flaw is becoming increasingly apparent.
What is that fundamental flaw?
The flaw is the erroneous assumption that the government will always have sufficient money to bail out banks in the event of a bank run. But the increasing magnitude of these periodic financial crises, combined with the inability of the federal government to balance its budgets, creates a situation of intolerable debt. The government has to pay back all this debt, or at some point there will be a reckoning. The situation extends to all levels of government and threatens the stability of the entire financial system.
Yes, but what does that have to do with your big idea?
Somehow we need to find a new way to create money that doesn't create such intolerable levels of debt in the system. Because the system is so highly leveraged, it only takes a small number of people at the bottom defaulting on their loans to destabilize the entire system.
Yes, and again, how does this relate to your big idea for a new money system?
In the new money system, money will be created not by big banks as they make loans, but rather it will be created by new kinds of banks that issue money into circulation as gifts, grants and incentives for people to do things that will somehow improve our lot as a society.
You totally lost me there. How could money be issued into circulation as a gift?
It's done all the time. In fact, one of the largest currencies in circulation today has been entirely gifted into circulation.
And that is?
Airline miles. Today there are 17 trillion airline miles in circulation with a current market value of between $500 billion and $1 trillion. Points, rewards and coupons are all examples of currencies that have been gifted into circulation.
And so
the new money system simply extends and expands that same process and makes it possible for all kinds of entities, schools, businesses, retailers, non-profits, foundations, even government agencies. All these entities will have the power to create money in the new money system. It's a fundamental shift that will have a profoundly beneficial effect on society.
This is a lot to digest at once. I need to think about this some more and we'll resume this conversation. I'm skeptical, but intrigued.